Well, first question, when did you decide that you wanted to make a movie about a terrorist attack?
Well, first it's not exactly about a terrorist attack. My idea was not only to concentrate on terrorism, you know. Actually, it's not a word I use a lot for the film. I use more like the idea of insurrection, you know, something. And the idea came around 2010. I was working on a period film called House of Tolerance. It was a film set in 1900. And I was a little scared to be disconnected from contemporary world. So I wanted to go back after that film to a very contemporary film. And for me, the very contemporary, the sensation of that was a tension that was so thick that it would explode, you know, so thick that you could even touch it with your hand in the air and that it finished by explode. So my first image of the film, yes, it was special buildings in Paris that would explode because it's what I could feel. Then I decided to work this as more as a, in a way, action movie, much more than a political movie with words and discussions and people talking together. And it's more a film that goes into the line of insurrection groups much more than religious terrorism.
Yeah, because these young teenagers, they all come from different origins.
Yeah.
And yet they are able to plan an attack together. Can you explain that? Because they all seem so different to me.
I wanted to show that there is a general tension in the city, and that's why it was very important for me to have a group of people that have probably not the same reasons, you know, but they can have the same anger.
In the first half of the movie, we see how people are being followed throughout the underground. Was it difficult to shoot on location in Paris and to get permission for that?
On the first part, the most difficult was the metro. It was very. Some days I just thought I couldn't make it, you know. But at the same time, I prefer to go inside the real metro with real people because it has an atmosphere that you cannot recreate if you rent, one car of the metro at night with extras, and you know, it's not the same. Here you have a real feeling, but it was difficult to shoot. The authorizations was okay. I think I said to a lot of people that the film was set in the future, in 2025. Yeah. So for them to say, okay, it's a science fiction film. You know. So that's how it did to have the authorization.
Non, reste ici, on sort pas, tu le sais.
And the second half of the movie, it takes place in a luxury store. Did you have a special reason for filming this entire second half in that store?
Yes, I mean, for me, in a way, it's the heart of the film, and in a way, I do the film for this part. I think it's an incredible location. What it means is in today's world and the way it's built, thought. This kind of stores, they are a recreation of the world inside the world, you know? And it's an idea of the perfect world.
How did you manage to compose your own music for NOCTURAMA? Because I saw you did the musical score.
Yes. Well, in fact, I do the music while I write the script at the same time. For example, if I feel that a scene needs some music, I go from my study to my little studio and I start to search the sound of the scene, which kind of texture, which kind of the color of the music, you know. And usually when I finish the script, the music is almost finished. Because for me, music is not something that is illustrative. It's something that is narrative. It tells something.
Maintenant, plus rien sera jamais pareil.
how would you react to people who go to the movie and say, well, I thought there wasn't enough narrative content, because you said the style is very important and the style tells a story, but maybe some people would say, well, I wanted more narrative, I want to know the motives of the people who did it. How would you react to that?
But it's of course a question that I usually have in the Q&As after the screening. You know,
yeah.
Someone asks, why don't we know why?
Yeah.
And I think it's a normal reaction of someone who's watching the film. But if I had put, you know, the discussions that would be before the film in a way,
yeah,
there would be a disappointment, you know, because in fact they know why.
Faut rester calme.
Could you name some filmmakers or movies that inspired you for writing this script? Because you said you wrote it all by yourself, but where does the story come from?
For writing, not a lot. For thinking about the film in general, yes, I would say that I was a little inspired by, for the first part of the film, by a film by Alan Clark called Elephant, which is the original of Elephant. After Gus Van Sant made a kind of remake, but
yeah,
the Alan Clark's film was a very important film for me. And then on the second part, I was thinking of some action movie in which you have to wait, you know, that you know that something will happen and you have to wait.
Yeah.
And there is the John Carpenter I saw it on Precinct 13.
I think I don't know.
Rio Bravo. And you know, it's two kind of films that people have to wait. There are something outside that's going to arrive, and so how to make some tension with nothing.
Yeah.
So, and these three films, especially the Alan Clark and John Carpenter, what I really liked about them, it's in a way it's action film with not many words, but they are very political, and how to make a political film through an action movie.
Yeah. So the first half of the movie is suspense, and then you get the action. Could I say that?
Yeah, kind of thriller in a way.
Et là, j'ai la trouille.
T'as vu que tu veux que je commence à flipper?
Okay, as a last question, I wanted to talk about one particular scene, because I found it quite interesting. There's a scene, they are sitting in, I think, a canteen or something like that, and they're talking about politics.
Yes.
And you think they are talking about their motives, but it seems as if they're just talking afterwards about a test for school or something.
Yes,
it's just not really a motive.
It's a real bar that is close from the Science Politics School in Paris.
Yes.
And one is preparing the entry, one is already in the school, and they're just talking about the program. And I wanted to talk about democracy in the 20th century, the history of democracy. So you can feel that not all my characters, but some of the characters has done some studies, and they're thinking politics through the history of politics.
But you shouldn't see it as their motives. It's just...
No, it's like when you have the flashbacks in the film. For me, it's like comment on dit, impressionist painting. You know, it's not something very clear. It's just little colors you put, you know, that gives you a feeling. But it's not like really clear stuff. And it's how I thought the flashbacks. You only have signs, you know. It's not a proper explanation, but little signs.